Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 6th of March for the Sun or the Ascendant. As ever, I'm going to give you the standout features to look out for, and of course there are two massive ones this week with Saturn's arrival in the sign of Pisces. But please stay with me because I will dive deep to give you each of the 12 zodiac signs from Aries through to Pisces in forensic detail. But this introduction gives you a perspective of what we're collectively going to experience this week. And of course, the standout is the arrival of Saturn in Pisces. But this coincides with the full moon in the sign of Virgo. Each year, the Virgo full moon asks us to balance the more perceptive, emotional and spiritual dimension of the sun in the sign of Pisces with the more practical and physical plane of Virgo. So if we're investing too much time and energy in really speculating about what we would like, Pisces, but not taking the action to go through the processes, Virgo, then that is going to create a degree of inertia. So getting an attunement between the physical and the spiritual planes is the key to the next 2 weeks. But Mars is pretty close to a T-square between the 2 points. So I think it's possible that some secrets and information can spill out into the open and in quite an abrasive way. Mars, of course, is a very impatient influence, particularly in the sign of Gemini, which is to do with words, messages, communication. So Pisces being in the 12th house is more to do with secrets. So anything to do with work or health, I feel that there will be information coming into the public domain over the next 2 weeks that could cause some shocks. But also, Uranus is in the mix on this particular full moon, encouraging us to look at things in a fresh and different way. And in fact, later this week, it's Mercury's turn in the sign of Pisces to link in a very productive way with Uranus. So if we use the energy of Pisces to listen to our intuition, but take action in a more grounded, earthy way through the guise of the moon in Virgo or Uranus in Taurus, that's how we're going to make the most of this week. Now, if you're a returning viewer to my channel, thank you so much for joining me once more. If you're new here, it's great to have you with us. Please comment and interact. I do interact with all comments that are made. This is very much a community, and please like and subscribe. So Scorpio, your week commencing the 6th of March forecast sees both the Sun and Mercury in dazzling alliances with Uranus. Uranus is a very potentially unsettling influence. It can be quite provocative. It can push us to perhaps take a little bit of a walk on the wild side. So over the last few years, there may have been some changes around your relationship situation, or at least your approach to relationships. But if you did meet someone this week, there could be quite an electric connection. But you may be thinking, but hold on, Patrick, Saturn arriving in the 5th house is not exactly a bunch of laughs. Well, wherever Saturn is, it's not necessarily a bunch of laughs. So the last 2.5 years in total, in 2 spells, 3 retrogrades, it's been in your 4th house, all about home and emotion. So I would think if you think back over those months, you have actually worked very hard on getting that part of your situation firmer, more stable. Now Saturn's asking you to work on your talents, and if you would like a significant relationship to come into your world or a new addition to the family, then Saturn is going to support you, and that's where you'll add your application to your inspiration. But the full moon does suggest also that we can't keep all of the people happy all of the time. So if you do find yourself having to toggle a little bit and flex in order to create a bit more space, it wouldn't be a surprise. Perhaps this week's most challenging influence is Mars's T-square with the lunation, but perhaps even more so the square with Neptune, which is in your sector of romance, and it's been there since 2012. If there is somebody that you're more involved with, but you can never seem to get a clear understanding of what they want, I think Saturn moving into your fifth house could be a push not to be messed around. It's asking you to really be clear about what you want and set your boundaries, because lack of clarity or any kind of possessiveness or the dark arts of jealousy, all these kind of things, if you're in a time which drains you through those kind of vibes, I think Saturn's asking you to think again, and think again in a very serious way.